Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Whip It Like Butter. It's your girl Ashley. Y'all, today we're making a delicious red velvet pound cake. Y'all, this is my third time making this cake. Yes, I had to keep trying because like the flavor wasn't right, the crumb wasn't right. I had to get it right just for y'all. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'll show y'all how it's done. Let's go. First, we're going to start by adding our butter to the bowl. Your butter should be at room temperature. We're going to use 2 sticks for this recipe. So we want to start creaming our butter together first, and then we're going to add our sugar to the bowl really slow. So this is at regular speed, so you can see like just how slow I'm adding the sugar to the bowl. I'll cut some of it out, but most of it's there. You want to cream it till it's like this, and then we're going to go ahead and add the oil to the batter. And then next, we're going to go ahead and add our vanilla extract. And then we're going to go ahead and add our eggs to the bowl. And we're going to add them one at a time, blending well after each addition. You don't want to add the next egg until the first egg is well blended and you pretty much no longer see any yellow. Okay, then we're going to scrape down the sides of our bowl like so. And then we're going to go ahead and finish preparing the rest of the batter. All right, so add your cocoa powder into your batter. Now you want to turn your mixer down at this point so you make sure that the cocoa powder doesn't start kicking out of the bowl. And that's if you use a hand mixer or if you use a stand mixer. And then you can turn it up a little bit. And then you add your red food coloring. You keep mixing. And then we're going to grab our flour, which we've already added our baking powder and our salt. And then we're going to add our flour alternating with our buttermilk. Your buttermilk should also be at room temperature. And you want to start with your flour and you want to end with your flour. So how you saw I added the flour and then there were almost no white streaks left. That's when you want to add your buttermilk. You add your buttermilk when you almost have no white streaks from your buttermilk left. Then you want to go ahead and add your flour again. And you can add it like in 3 parts or however you choose, just as long as you start with your flour and end with your flour. I'm showing you all the way through so you can just see like how the batter changes and stuff as we go along with the process. Here's the last of our flour. And then lastly, we're going to add our white vinegar, y'all. I've done this like a couple of different ways, and adding the vinegar at the end was the most successful. And so we're going to do our last little mixing by hand. And we'll spray the hell out that Bundt pan because we don't do no sticking over here. And then we're going to go ahead and layer our batter into the pan. So I ended up doing this in 2 parts. It doesn't matter. I do it in 2 parts because after I lay one layer of batter, if I go ahead and lay another layer on top, it's just gonna cook uneven. So I just added it in 2 different layers. And so once you finish adding your batter to your pan, you want to smooth the top of your pan. And we're going to place this cake in the oven. We're going to bake it at 350 degrees for about an hour. You definitely want to start checking on it at the 45-minute, 50-minute mark to see, the process of it browning. If the cake is pulling away from the pan and it's browning, then you can take it out, do a toothpick test. If your toothpick comes out clean, then that cake is ready to go. So this is out of the oven. We'll let it cool for 20 minutes and we'll go ahead and flip that thing over. And then we're going to finish let it cooling on this plate before we apply our icing. But we're going to go ahead and make it here. Okay, so add your powdered sugar to your bowl and then you're going to go ahead and add your vanilla extract and then go ahead and add your cream cheese as well. Your cream cheese should be at room temperature so it mixes real smooth with your other ingredients. If it's too cold, it's definitely gonna not come out right. Your icing is gonna come out clumpy. So I started the mixing process slow, and then as it came about like this, I went ahead and spread it up so that the icing can start pulling away to the sides of the bowl, so it can be like this and get nice and creamy. And so after that time, you want to go ahead and add your milk nice and slow. I always say add it slow so you can see like really gauge like how thick or how thin you want your icing. You can always, stop at a point, but after you've added it, you can't take it away. Now, we use 2 tablespoons of milk for this recipe. It doesn't have to be at room temperature or anything for the icing. But if you need to add more, if you want your icing to be a little bit smoother, however, then you want to go ahead and add more milk. Just add it really slowly till you get to your desired consistency. And then I just use a measuring cup. That's something I like to use, just something that's in the kitchen. And go ahead and spread the icing over this cake. And then I went in with the spreader. If you don't have a spreader, check out my Amazon store in the description box below. And you can get there's a link in there for the spreader. Spread the icing around. I went ahead and added 2 or 3 layers just because I wanted my icing to be a little thicker than what it was. And then after that, you want to let your icing set. You can throw some pecans on there for color or some walnuts, or you can just leave them off. And yeah, you're good to go. So stick around. We're going to go ahead and do the taste test. Mm. I have to close my eyes to eat this cake. Y'all know the taste test is my favorite part. Mmm. Mmm. This cake is absolutely delicious. Go ahead and grab this recipe in the description box below so you enjoy this cake just like me. And don't be stingy. Make sure that you share and join us back here for more over here at Whip It Like Butter. Bye. Just love.